Prayers going out to Demar Hamlin. He plays safety for the Buffalo Bills, and he suffered cardiac arrest while playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. He had to be resuscitated twice. He's still in the hospital, so prayers going out to him. I'm going to play a quick clip explaining the situation, his situation, and then I'll come back and explain how Skip Bayless got himself in trouble. Check this out.
Good morning. Hamlin is here at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, still in the ICU. Last night, his family told me that he remains on a ventilator, but there has been improvement since that critical moment Monday night.
That was just a scary scene to see. Like I said, even if it wasn't my family member, but for it to be my nephew, it was just that much more gut-wrenching to see that.
Demar Hamlin's uncle, Dorian Glenn, was watching the Bills-Bengals game with family members in Pittsburgh when he saw his nephew collapse.
We went from trying to console his little brother to the whole living room was crying. We were all in tears.
On the field, medical personnel quickly began CPR before taking Hamlin to the hospital.
If not for what they did, my nephew would be dead right now.
Glenn said Hamlin has lung damage and can't breathe on his own. He was receiving 100% oxygen from a ventilator, but now that's down to only 50%.
His heart went out twice. Went out on the field when they resuscitated him, and then when he got back to the hospital, went out a second time, and they had to hit him with the defibrillator.
Again, prayers going out to Demar Hamlin, him and his family. Demar Hamlin was only 24 years old, or is only 24 years old. So to suffer such a internal injury is very serious, especially for an athlete. It's a very unfortunate situation. But everybody wasn't so sad about the situation. And I'm going to get into Skip Bayless's reaction to this scene. But first, just to give you something to compare it to, I'm going to play you a clip so you can see a scene from the field and understand how the other players were feeling at the time.
CPR. What's up, Robbie? I got you here. Shit. Oh my God.
So you can see everyone was on the field. There's an ambulance on the field. Everyone was in shock. Everyone was really shaken up about this situation. All the players, were in shock and felt Demar Hamlin's pain at the time. But Skip Bayless didn't seem to care so much. Check out what he tweeted in real time as the situation was going on. He says, "Not exactly sure what happened to Demar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time." So already he's worried about the length of time the game has been stopped. "Just said a prayer for him and his family." So, okay, he's already mentioning the amount of time the game is stopped. Like, all right, is this game going to go on? This is his first tweet. A quick prayer for him and his family. So he's showing some type of care about Demar Hamlin and his family, but really you can already tell in this first tweet, I can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. He goes on to say in his very next tweet, "I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this." So all that care for Demar Hamlin and his family is going out the window. Now he's surprised by the reaction of the fellow players. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. So he's like, yo, is this game going to come back on or what? All the care for Demar Hamlin having a heart attack or cardiac arrest, that's all out the window. Now he's like, all right, let the game continue. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. So notice he's saying for these players, the players that I just showed a moment ago, all on the field crying, feeling pain for their fellow player, their fellow athlete, Demar Hamlin, for them, it was different. But for Skip Bayless, it was business as usual. One slave off the field, one monkey don't stop the show. Keep the game going. He goes on to say in his very next tweet, and this is the one that really got him in trouble. He says, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season? A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant." So this is the one that got him in trouble. They're saying, so how can they postpone the game? All of these tweets that I'm reading, they're still up on his timeline. All of these tweets are still on Skip Bayless's timeline. You can go check it out for yourself after this video. But you can tell that his concern for Demar Hamlin has just gone out the window. He's more concerned about this game continuing. This game must go on. It's all about the game. Because you got to understand, these are yeah, they're getting paid millions of dollars, but these are still just athletes. They're just I don't want to use certain words because of the YouTube algorithm, but these are just monkeys on a show. One monkey does not stop the show. Skip Bayless clearly doesn't care. But what really got me, what surprised me, was Skip Bayless's so-called apology. Check out what he says in his last clip, or the very last tweet that I'm going to read. He says, "Nothing is more important than that young man's health." Now, this is coming after all of these tweets are in consecutive order. He says nothing is more important than that young man's health. But he didn't seem to care about it, that young man's health, a moment ago. It wasn't until he started getting backlash, people in the comments section. He even admits in a separate clip that he was called by his boss to say, hey, people are reacting to your tweets. You might need to clean that up a little bit. So this is his so-called apology. Nothing is more important than that young man's health. Not to you, apparently. That was the point of my last tweet. That was the point of which last tweet? I just read all of his tweets in consecutive order. The point of his last tweet was not that young man's health is so important. The last tweet was talking about the game must go on. He says, I'm sorry if that was misunderstood. Misunderstood? Yeah, it was misunderstood. You didn't say anything about that man's health in his last tweet. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and will continue to. I don't even think he said a prayer, to be honest with you. I don't think he said a prayer for that man or his family. I don't think he really cares. I don't think he cares about Demar Hamlin or any of these athletes, really. I think he just cares about the game, and it's his job to color the game. So he's just saying, hey, the game must continue. Oh, until I get the backlash, then I'll say a quick apology and hope people forget about it. The thing about it is Skip Bayless has a history of, disrespecting athletes and not really caring about their health, their mental state. He talked about Dak Prescott like a dog when Dak Prescott got depressed because his mom died of cancer and his brother killed himself in 2020. His brother deleted himself. Skip Bayless said, I don't care. The game needs to continue. Skip Bayless has a history of just disrespecting black athletes. He even said something about Steph Curry and Blake Griffin because they're lighter skinned players. He has a history of talking bad and talking racially about black players versus light skinned and white players. It's really interesting if you follow Skip Bayless's career, his perspective on some of these issues. But hey, that's just what I think. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Thanks for supporting, and shout out to all the new subscribers. I see you all. I see you getting active. I see you watching the videos. I appreciate you all. So you made it all the way to the end of the video, but you haven't hit the like button yet. Come on now. You're cheating me. You're cheating yourself. Go ahead, hit the like button. And while you're at it, you might as well smash the subscribe button so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. I make a video every day, a different topic, a different subject. They're all interesting, so you can check them all out by hitting the subscribe button and setting your notifications to all so you get an alert when I drop a video. There you go.